Hey, it's Vana, and welcome back to Dark Souls. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last episode we started our adventure in Lordran, and now we will continue that adventure in the Undead Asylum. Let's go ahead and move through this fog gate, shall we? This is called a fog... It always says traverse the white light, but it's either called a fog gate or a fog door, I'm not sure. Either way, we'll go through it. That can mean one of two things. That can mean there's a boss behind it that's going to kill you the first time you fight it if you've never fought it before. And it sounds like a joke, but honestly, that's what happens every time. That's what happened to me every time. Like, no matter how easy the boss was, because there's a degree of difficulty. Some bosses are incredibly difficult and memorable, and some bosses, the giant bug in the forest, are incredibly easy. You see that item? We are not even going to be able to get that item ever until a long time from now. But it is a very important item. Nevertheless, we're going to go this way. The fog door also can mean, by the way, just another area. That was the other use. Okay, so let's go up these stairs, shall we? Just kidding. Because there's going to be a boulder coming down here. And it hit me. Wow. Son of a bitch. I sounded all smart knowing there was going to be a boulder up there, and then I got hit by it anyways. Alright, well, the more astute of you would notice that it actually created a path over here. So let's go inside. There it is. We can't break it, right? There are some things like this that you can actually roll through, and it doesn't seem like it's all that heavy. And who do we have here?
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
One of the rules of Dark Souls, anytime an NPC asks you something and it says, what is your decision, you pretty much always want to say yes.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Alright, achievement unlocked. Estus Flask.
Oh, and this.
Undead Asylum, Floor 2, East Key.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
For what? Because I believe this is the guy that rescued us by throwing that body in there that had the key to our cell door. Unfortunately, he's dead.
I must bid farewell.
I mean, he's not dead yet, but seems like he will be dead eventually. So you'll notice in our D-pad slot down there, by the way, those are D-pad slots. If we press left on the D-pad, we'll unequip our shield. Same thing with our sword. And if we press down on the D-pad, it just cycles through our various use items. Estus Flasks are basically your lifeline. As you go through dungeons, you have to be efficient in using them, or else you won't make it to the next bonfire and you'll have no way to heal yourself, and then you'll die. But they do restore health. Okay, so we have upstairs and we have downstairs. Let's go. Wait a second. I just heard someone die. Was that the sound of this guy dying? Yes, indeed it was. And anytime anything dies in this game, you get the souls for it regardless of your action. So this guy died and we got 100 souls. Our souls are in the bottom right there. Souls are used for everything in this game. Leveling up, they're used as currency, they're used as all sorts of stuff. Alright, so let's block that. And anytime you navigate to the back of somebody like that and press RB, you'll do a backstab animation. And, well, they have to be able to be backstabbed. But these guys definitely are. That key opens that. But the big thing about this game is exploring. So obviously there's another path to the bottom here, so we're going to go over there. Actually, I also see a note over there. Can we head over there? It looks like we can. But I don't remember anything being over here. Need amazing treasure. Okay. And sometimes there are illusory walls, like walls that look like walls, but when you attack them, they actually disappear and reveal something. That is not one of those times. Ooh, that's going to be falling damage, but luckily, this game is pretty lenient on falling damage, surprisingly. Okay, so this right here is a shortcut. There are a lot of shortcuts in this game, and you'll see why later, but basically it's a shortcut back to the bonfire. So now we can go back this way, and like I said, everything respawns. So when we go back up here, it's not just going to be a simple matter of walking back to where we were, because now this guy is right here again. But just like the last time. Boom! Now, this game... This is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not. I'm just being realistic. I'm going to make this game seem like it's a lot easier than it actually is. I've put a lot of hours into this game. Again, not as much as people that, you know, make this game their religion, and I can see why they would. This game is amazing. I love it so much. It's in my top 5 games. But, yeah, normally this game would be much more challenging. You would be getting the hang of the controls right about now, and by the way, when you're in a backstab animation like that, you're also immune, so they can't just walk up to you and kill you. I mean, we don't have to backstab. We can also just do that and, you know, attack them normally. And we can parry, which is something I never did, ever. So if I tried to do it, chances are that I wouldn't be that good at it. But let's kill this guy, who is still, like, trying to hit me with an arrow as I'm maneuvering behind him and stabbing him in the back. I don't think that's very smart. We have 260 souls. Amazing. Alright, and here there's actually going to be... Oh, I thought there was 2 guys. There's only 1. But this guy's an upgraded version because he's got a shield. Let's try parrying. It's not going to work. I'm telling you that right now because I'm terrible at parrying. But let's try it anyways. Yeah, see? It's so much easier just to go behind them and backstab. It's ridiculous. I mean, oh, he's not dead. Okay. I thought he was dead. He was not dead. It's so much easier just to backstab them. I've never really tried parrying too much, but that is a route you can go. But I'm much more of a backstabber, which is viewed not as honorable you know, in the Dark Souls community as parrying. Like, there's a thing with backstab fishers and stuff like that, but that's usually in terms of PvP. We did get a new weapon. One amazing thing about this game is it has 1 billion weapons, and that's almost not even an overstatement because there are so many different weapons you can get in this game. They all have their own different move types. Some of them have unique animations and movesets and abilities, and this game is just absolutely amazing, and it's totally in-depth when it comes to weapons. But let's see. Longsword is less damage than the broadsword, and it's the same amount of weight. So that just usually means that it has a different moveset or something. So let's try an RB. There's 2 types of attacks in Dark Souls, a light attack and a strong attack. This is RB, which is a light attack, and this is the right trigger, which is a strong attack. So that is that weapon's moveset. Let's try the broadsword. So we have a swing, and then a little bit different, but yeah, I think we'll just stick with the broadsword. By the way, the first number is the attack. The second number is, I believe, if it does magic damage. We can also press select, I think, to take a look at what this does. Yeah, the next number is the magic damage. The next number is fire damage, lightning damage, critical, and we have a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, that number after the lightning is also the durability. There is durability, and you'll notice that if we hit the ground or the wall, we go back into here. Okay, maybe not in this game. I could have sworn. I know in Dark Souls 2, if you hit walls and stuff, it loses durability. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward, shall we? I think we'll want to use 1 Estus Flask, and then let's travel through the white light once again and see what we got. Huh, this looks familiar, doesn't it? And so does that guy. Let's drop down here and do a plunging attack. Did I totally miss? Wow, thank you, Hitbox. Okay, so that's what the game wants you to do. It wants you to do a plunging attack on this guy, and let's try and roll out of that. Basically, what we want to do now is two-hand our sword. Again, you can press Y to two-hand, because it's going to do more damage, and we cannot block his attacks. So it's better off, you're better off just to two-hand the weapon and deal more damage than have the shield out in situations like this. I mean, if it's a normal enemy you can block, then obviously you can block. Okay, one more should do the trick. Goodbye, first boss. And we can also press back and do a gesture, but we don't start off with good gestures, but let's bow. I'm bowing to give you honor, but honestly, you were pretty easy. We also got a humanity, which I'll go over a little bit later, and 2,000 whopping souls. Switch back to our sword and shield, and let's go through here, which is what we are able to do with the big pilgrim's key, which is what he gave us. Okay, let's see. It's not over yet, though. Usually there are enemies over here. Okay, so all those messages on the ground back in the Undead Asylum, most of them were tutorial messages that the game developers put, but these are the actual messages that players are writing. This one isn't. This is a tutorial message, but this one is. And basically, it says rating 3. Anytime you see a message, as long as you have the item that allows you to write messages, you can rate the message, and the really high-rated ones usually are correct. Like if it says, watch out on the left, and it's got like a 200 rating, there's probably something on the left that'll kill you. Alright, so before we move on, there's actually a little secret here. Yes, there it is. So if we head over here to this nest... Gorgeous view. I wouldn't say so. It's pretty gloomy. So I never really took advantage of this. In Dark Souls 2, it's much more obvious. But in this game, basically, you can come to this nest. I think you have to come to it the second time. It's not going to activate this time. But little birds will talk to you, and they'll tell you... Invisible birds, by the way, because you can't see them. They'll tell you that they want stuff. Basically, it's like an item trading mechanic. You can place items in here, and you can, like, trade up and get better items. It's like a secret. I never really took advantage of it in this game. But in Dark Souls 2, like I said, they make it pretty damn obvious. So let's travel to the spire here, and hopefully find something that will allow us to continue on our way.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
And we're dead. Game over. Well, that was Let's Play Dark Souls, ladies and
To
gentlemen.
leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage
But of course, I'm just kidding.
to the land of the ancient lords.
And what land is that, mysterious voice?
Lordran.
Ah. And... speak of the devil. So for anyone not understanding what was going on, we were an undead. We do have the dark sign, and because of that, I guess someone kidnapped us and placed us in the undead asylum. And now this crow has taken us to Lordran, a completely different place, where there's a bonfire right in front of us. Okay, achievement unlocked. Reach Lordran. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. And I don't know if you saw that as well, but it said that we are at Firelink Shrine. Okay, we have a dude over there and some item over there, but before we go and explore, let's go ahead and activate this bonfire. Let's go talk to this guy.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you.
Oh,
So
it won't.
Off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So, if you're unaware of the chronology, right? If you're unaware of the chronology of Dark Souls, basically, there was a game before this. It was called Demon Souls. I have never played it. Apparently, it's really good as well. Then Dark Souls came out, and then Dark Souls 2 came out, and then Dark Souls 3 was just announced at E3, which I will be getting and maxing out and, wasting my life away at because I love Dark Souls so much. And this guy is at the beginning, not this specific guy, but it's always the same voice actor. There's a guy like the beginning of every game that has the same voice actor, and he's so creepy, and he has more dialogue.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow.
Sounds a bit like Salad Fingers.
Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
So what he means by that is when we are hollow, which we are right now because we're like zombified, people cannot invade you, and I'll talk more about invasions later on. But basically, if you're dying a lot, it's sort of a game mechanic to not, kick you when you're down by letting people invade you because you'll be hollow for the majority. Just like my friends, they've been hollow pretty much the entire time they've been playing this game. Okay.
What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collected bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
So what he means by healthy undead is like him. because I'm pretty sure everybody that is the same height as me is undead in this game, but if they look human like he does, usually when you kill the NPCs, which you don't want to do unless you're like an evil character, I guess, nets you a humanity, but we already have one. I'm going to keep talking to all the NPCs and exhaust their dialogues because there's not a lot of NPCs, and usually what they say is really important. So,
What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
and he's right, because actually if you try to attack him, he's pretty strong, and usually you will end up dead early in the game.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town.
Oh, Blighttown.
Die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
I know, right? Believe me, buddy, I hate Blighttown just as much as you do. Okay, do you have anything more to say?
Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions.
I know, but you've got so many interesting things to say.
What now?
I think we are done,
For
though.
chatting? Leave me alone.
Yes, he is exhausted. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this item, which is going to be 3 humanities. Wow, I thought it was going to be... Humanity is really important in this game. Like, to find 3 is not... That doesn't happen often. You'll notice this guy also has a thong. Very cool. All right, so one thing that we want to do right off the bat is go into our menu and... Oh, it's already in there. Okay, cool. We actually want to consume a humanity, which will restore our entire health bar pretty much. But it's not... But if you use it to heal, that's a bad way to use it. And then we want to go to reverse hollowing. You can see that it says offer humanity to reverse hollowing. So our number in the top left, which is our humanity, goes back down to 0. But the trade-off is now we look normal. We look like a human, and now we can summon phantoms to help us, and also people can invade us. Humanity also affects how often you find things. I believe the cap is 10. If we had 10 humanity, if the number in the top left was 10, because you have to consume them to have them, we would be finding items, I think, 30% more. But usually you don't have 10 humanity until later in the game. Let's go up here. Back gesture, yes. Okay, and here we have another NPC.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Okay, you don't need to say it like that. I'm not hollow, as you can see.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
1 copper coin.
Oh my, you again.
Me again.
Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Not really, but I'll say yes.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Okay. Achievement unlocked, Covenant, Way of White. Covenants in this game are basically like guilds. There's around 8. They all are very, very different. This one is just sort of a free one. It's not really anything significant.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Okay. So, we can purchase items, and let's see. So, there's different types of magic in this game. I believe there's 4. There are sorceries, which you need catalysts to use, which is basically like a staff. There is pyromancy, which you need a pyromancy glove to use. Actually, it's called a pyromancy flame, but it is a glove. Then there are miracles, which is what this guy is selling, and you need talismans to use. As you can see, he's selling one too. And then there are hexes, which I believe are only added with the DLC, and you also need catalysts for that as well. I, of course, am not going to use any of that stuff because I hate magic. I don't use magic in any games I play pretty much unless I have to. So we're going to be using a strength build, pretty much. We're already in the Covenant. Also, you can learn gestures, so we got Shrug, cool. And we can also talk.
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
Wonderful.
An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
Okay, show your dedication. Required souls 500. Let's go with yes.
Very well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers.
Yeah, if by magnificent powers you mean that you will be able to use more Estus flasks, which honestly isn't that magnificent.
Very well. I can surely
Okay, it looks like we are done
Come
with
again.
this guy. I didn't
The
want to give him
effectiveness-
500 souls. 500 souls is not a lot, but the thing is, I want to level up before we end this episode. And we will do that right now. So to level up, we need souls and we need a bonfire. We have both. So let's do it. Okay, so kindling, basically, you can kindle each bonfire one time, and then if you get a special item, you can kindle it again. It costs 1 humanity, but I believe it gives you 5 extra Estus flasks. So, but it's only per bonfire. So if we find another one and it's not kindled, we'll go back down to 5. But if we kindled this one, we'd have 10, which is pretty good, and probably worth 1 humanity early game. But let's go ahead and level up. So we have Vitality, which is health. We have Attunement, which allows you to carry various spells. The more attunement you have, the more attunement slots you have, the more spells you can carry. I think it also increases the damage a little bit. Endurance is how much stamina we have, allows us to roll more. Strength is the damage we do with strength-oriented weapons. Dexterity is the same thing, but for dexterity-oriented weapons, I played a dexterity build in my last character and on New Game Plus, so we're going to be doing strength this time around. Resistance is by far the worst attribute you can put up. It just gives you resistance to various things. It's not really good. You're better off putting stuff in Vitality. Intelligence is the amount of damage you do with sorceries and hexes, and I believe Pyromancy as well. Faith is miracles, and then that's all we can put up. Humanity is just the number that we have. We can't actually put that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Vitality at 1, and then you can see it says souls, required souls for the next, so we can level up 1 more time. We're going to put up strength, and then we're going to confirm reinforcement. And we are also going to end this episode. In the next one, we're pretty much going to get started on our quest. We have 2 objectives. 1, to ring the bell high above, and 2, to ring the bell down below. And the first one we need to do is high above, and we will get started in that direction in the next episode. Thanks for watching this one, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you guys there. Bye-bye.